Episode 6 of the Spittin Sports Podcast. We got the 3 regulars and special guest Noah back again.
Let's get into the Vancouver Canucks. Hot start to the season for the Canucks here. They got 10 wins, two losses, I think. What do we think about that, boys?
I think, like we talked a little bit about them last episode, but they continued the hot streak that they're on. I think every position is just rolling for them right now: goaltending, defense, and offense.
Yeah, and I mean, I know Pedersen is playing outstanding, most points in the league, but I'm also been pretty impressed with Brock Besser.
Yeah.
Pretty quiet last year.
Well, you think about it, they got basically Rocket Richard / Hart candidate as of right now in Pedersen. You got a Norris candidate in Hughes, and you got a Vezina candidate in Demko.
You also got JT Miller, 6 in points, too. You're forgetting about him, 20 points.
Yeah, I mean, they're also, Noah was just touching on, they're getting depth scoring from Besser, Miller. They're just, the whole team is just playing to what, they're playing at their ceiling right now where they can be playing at.
Well, Besser's almost scoring a goal per game right now, 11 goals in 13 games.
Yeah.
Just everybody on that lineup is coming out and playing good so far to start the season.
And the question is, can they keep it up for the rest of the season?
Caught people off guard, especially since of how bad of a year they had last season.
I think a big part of this 10 wins is Thatcher Demko. I mean, one of the best goals in the league right now. I think if he don't keep it up.
Well, he's running a 1.61 goals against average.
948 save
I
percentage.
think he is the best goaltender because above him you got Swayman in goals against, hasn't even played half of Boston's games. So he's got he's second in goals against there.
Well, then also you got their defense Hronek and Quinn Hughes on the back line. Just they're up there in plus minus in the league. I think Quinn is actually leading the league in plus 17. And Hronek is plus 13. So they're just positive contributors when they are out on the ice.
Hronek was just brought in the off season too, so that was an interesting trade at the time.
And not a guy you expect to come in and be a big impact, just a depth
They
player.
traded a second rounder for him, so they obviously expect him to be a big part.
It's working out so far. So.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's only on the second. He's on the second power play unit, but he's still running 14 assists so far this season in 14 games. So he's over a point per game player on the back end there for the Canucks, and he's a big reason why they're winning so many games.
So,
Yeah, and I guess now we'll shift over into the rookie Calder race so far. Murph, what do you think about that?
I think right now you got 3 people. It's between Bedard, obviously, he's an obvious Calder candidate. You got Logan Cooley, who's really good to start the season. Then you also got Leo Carlson, who's...
So what about Pavel Michunkov with 9 points right now, Murph? You just excluded him? You don't even know who he is, do you?
Yeah, he's on Philadelphia, yeah, but...
So
No,
he
he's
just...
not.
He's not. He's actually on the Ducks, Murph. So you didn't do your research before we did this, did
I'm
you?
sorry, I wasn't looking at the Pavel Michunkov.
And he's a defenseman too with 9 points for.
Oh, that's good for him. Well,
This is your first time learning who he is, isn't it?
Yeah, sorry, I don't know how to spell his last name, so I couldn't search it up.
No, I'm just joking. But yeah, obviously, as expected, Bedard's leading the way in points right now. I do think he has more games played than some of these rookies, but still the best player in the class, obviously. Leo Carlson with a hat trick last night. They've been load managing him, but he's looked good so far in the games he's played in.
Well, that's a good point. Load managing, so definitely not as many games played, and still up there in the ranks.
Yeah, and I mean, it does help the Ducks are playing hot right now too, so he's probably getting more chances than he should be getting.
Well, the same thing with Pavel Michunkov or whatever his name is.
Denmark didn't know. Yeah, I know. Yeah, he's playing pretty good.
He won't stay up there, I don't think, especially not as a defenseman.
Yeah, Logan Cooley, he had a good preseason, and he's not having a bad start. 8 points so far this year.
No.
Coyotes team that's also probably overachieving a little bit from what they should be.
Boys, we gotta start putting some respect here on Bedard. We're all just looking at the 2 other boys, but Bedard had probably the worst situation involved on 11 points so far, leading all rookies.
4 points.
I think he is the first sure Calder winner this year.
Yeah. Well, I mean, with the Blackhawks second last in Central.
I agree with that. But
And he's in the worst situation. You got Cooley with a good couple studs around him. You got Fantilli with studs around him. You got everyone, all the rookies we're talking about here now, they at least got 1 or 2 real good players around him. Who got Bedard? Who?
Perry.
Exactly.
Yeah, Scory Perry.
Exactly. So
Is Hall still hurt?
Yeah, Hall's hurt.
Yeah,
you
so-
still got to put some respect on Bedard's name. And
Yeah, no, that's no doubt.
Bedard.
if he was in the same situation that Cooley or some people or Fantilli, I think he's got he would run away with it even more.
Saying that though, I wouldn't be surprised if Cooley or Carlson also gets the Calder this year. So I guess we'll see at the end of the season.
Yeah, now I guess we'll shift into our top 5 cup contenders. As of right
who do we
now.
want to start with?
Start with Noah.
Okay, so go from 5 to 1.
5 to 1. Okay. At 5, I got the Rangers. They're hot right now.
It's low.
8-1-1. But I don't think they can keep it up.
Why?
Well, let me just grab my thing here. So, Shesterkin has not been the best goalie.
Sturgeon's hurt. He ain't playing right now.
Yeah, but when he was playing, he was not the best.
I disagree. And if they're still hot with him struggling, what are they going to do when he's doing good?
That's true.
And he got 6 wins on the year. He's up
How
there.
many games did he play?
I don't know. He probably got 8 or 9 games because he has been hurt. He got an upper body injury, but he has 6 wins on the season right now. The top goalie has 7.
Yep.
So.
Alright, here's your number 4.
That's fair. And I would change 4 and 5 are interchangeable, but I got the Canes. They're struggling right now, but I think they will start.
They also got players out hurt.
Yeah.
So.
Frederick Anderson's hurt too right now.
Snechikov, Aho was hurt for a while,
Yeah.
so their top offensive juggernauts are.
At 3, I got the Stars.
Yeah, I like that too.
I like the Stars. Ottinger playing well. Robertson playing pretty good. Hintz playing pretty good. Then at 2, I got the Bruins. I mean, like, great start, but the other thing is they had an incredible season last season, and they also didn't do anything playoffs. So
I personally think it's a bit high for the Bruins.
Same.
But I do think the Bruins have been impressive considering what people thought they were going to do this year.
I get that. And then 1, I got the Knights. I mean, just won the cup. I hot again to start the season. Logan Thompson playing good in goal.
I don't know. I don't see nothing flashy on Vegas. Like I don't know.
Not flashy, but they're
Man,
just
they just win. They win games.
Yeah,
So
like-
they win games.
They know how to win.
Alright, so I'll start now. I've got the Avalanche at 5. I think I don't know. I think I got them. I could have. You could argue they're a bit low on my list. Some people didn't even have Avalanche on his list, but I just think that they have a lot of people from that cup run a couple years ago. They're still a great team, and I think anything can happen once they get in the playoffs. At number 4, I got the Leafs. I think the Leafs offensively have it figured out. I think they just gotta get some solid goaltending at the right time, and I think that they definitely need to make a couple pieces on defense, make a couple moves.
I think the Leafs are in worse shape this year than they were last year.
Yeah.
Personally.
Defensively, I think something got to change, definitely. Number 3, I have the Carolina Hurricanes. I had them as my cup favorite, I think, going into the season. Struggled a little bit since then, but I think, like Drew said, they got a lot of injuries right now. I think that they're actually scoring more goals this year than they were last year, but they're just letting in a lot more, which is not typical for them. So I think once they can get their goaltender back, they can get in more of a groove, they should be fine. Number 2, I have the New York Rangers. I think they're one of my favorites this year at the start, obviously, and they went in a 7-game series with the Devils that they should have had closed out earlier. I think they're coming back this year with a hungry mindset, and I like their team this year. Number 1, I have Vegas repeating for the Stanley Cup. I don't know. They look unstoppable right now in the regular season and in the playoffs last year. They got the experience. They have a similar roster to last season, same goaltenders, everything. I've got Vegas for 1.
Alright, well, I'll get into mine. I got one supposedly big dog that's actually off my list, so I'll see what happens. But number 5, I actually have Vegas. Like I said earlier, I just don't think they're going back to back, personally. They lost some pieces. Now, although I do think like people on the back end like Shea Theodore and Pietrangelo are having good years.
Carlson also.
Exactly. They are having some players that are having better years than they had last year. I just don't see them doing the same thing as what they did last year. Number 4, I have the Colorado Avalanche. Like Mike said, they have a lot of the same players as they did last year, or the year they did win the cup. And last year they still had a great team. I do think Landeskog's supposed to come back this year.
Yep.
He was out all last year. And I really like Mikko Rantanen. He's one of the more underrated players in the league.
Yeah, we talked about that recently too, I think, yeah.
Number 3, I got the Carolina Hurricanes. Great defense, obviously. They are injured, but they will improve as the season goes on, and we've already talked about that. So,
Yeah.
Number 2, the New York Rangers. I'm a heavy believer in the Rangers this year. You got great defense. You have the second best power play in the league, running at 35%, and they're doing all of this without Adam Fox. Wait till he comes back; they're only getting better. As well as Shesterkin. They have a great backup in Jonathan Quick, an old veteran that is one of the best goalies statistically in the league right now. Give me the Rangers at 2. Number 1, I got the Dallas Stars. I've been saying this for a very long time. I've been saying it from the start of the year. The Dallas Stars will be the Cup winner this year. They've got lots of playoff experience. They got the big names to do it, but they also got lots of depth. And I'm a heavy believer in Jake Ottinger. I will say I have the Bruins off my top 5.
Yeah, same. I think I can agree with the Stars. I mean, you can back it up because they went deep in the playoffs like the last 3 or 4 seasons, and this could be the year. All right, Murph.
At my 5, I got the Toronto Maple Leafs. Now, I know they were looked at as a bit of a joke when it comes to the playoffs until last year, where they could not get past the first round. Obviously, last year they make it past the first round.
They didn't do anything after that.
No, they didn't. But I think this year, I mean, like Mike was saying, their defense, biggest issue on the team, also with their goaltending, but they got the offense to make a deep playoff run, and I can see them winning that.
If they're going to make a deep playoff run, I think they got to figure out the situation in net.
Yeah.
And
But I think when they get that figured out, then they're gonna be looking dangerous. So I got them at my 5. At my 4, I got the Bruins. Pretty average pick. I mean, the Bruins. A lot of people thought they weren't gonna be very good this year. Obviously losing Krejci, Bergeron, but they still look like a great team out there. I mean, they're still one of the best teams in the league this year. They have decent depth. I mean, their defense is pretty good, but a big part of that is their goaltending.
Who's their depth?
Jake DeBrusk,
He got scratched. He's a healthy scratch.
Okay, well, they got
Boston's center depth has struggled this year.
They've had that Poitras rookie playing really well for them. Coyle. But besides that, they have like no center depth.
Okay, so they're at my 4.
They're also playing with McAvoy injured right now.
Exactly, and they're still one of the best teams in the league.
Or suspended,
Yeah,
sorry. Not
I was gonna
injured,
say, not
suspended. But he's still missing a good chunk. He was like 5
serving
games.
4-game suspension right now.
For a pretty stupid play, too.
At my 3, I got the Rangers. I'm liking the Rangers this year. I mean, a big part of the Rangers definitely is Jonathan Quick, subbing in for Shesterkin, playing very, very solid. Obviously, as Drew said, one of the best statistic goalies in the league right now. They also got Panarin, who's top 3 in points. So they're looking like a good team. I could see them definitely win the Stanley Cup this year.
I think they can only get better. What they're
And
doing.
obviously, they're still
Because
missing
they're
Aaron Fox.
missing Fox and Shesterkin, I think.
That's
As well
true.
as they're doing right now, I think they can only get
Now,
better.
saying that they're missing Shesterkin now, Jonathan Quick's playing very good.
Yeah,
so
sure.
he's stepping in. At my 2, I got the Stars. As Drew was saying, he thinks they're winning the cup, and you know what? I can agree with that. Stars, very good team, good experience. I mean, they got good depth. They still got Jamie Benn, Sagan, guys like that had the experience. Now they have J-Rob, Rupe Hintz. I mean, 2 very good players. I mean, and Jake Andrew, a big part of the Dallas Stars with the game. So I got them at my 2. And at my 1, I got Vegas going back to back. I don't know, something about this team. They know how to win hockey games. I mean, it's really what it is. I mean, their goaltending is also outstanding. Aiden Hill, second in league for save percentage. So I really do think that Vegas will go back to back this year.
And not only is Aiden Hill playing great, Logan Thompson is also playing great. So they
Yeah,
got a great
they got
tandem.
a good tandem.
It's also a team that has a lot of depth.
Yeah.
It's the Vegas Golden Knights.
Yes.
They just know how to win games. They really do know how to win games. So that's why I got winning the cup.
All right, well, that's our top 5 cup contenders for this year. But now we'll get into 2 bold or hot takes for this season. And we'll start with Murph this time.
Am I saying both of them?
Yep.
Okay, so my first is Vancouver makes a deep playoff run. Vancouver, solid start to the year. Like, you know, a lot of their players stepping up. Elias Pettersson, best player in the league right now. Quinn Hughes, best D in the league right now. And then you got guys like JT Miller, Brock Besser also playing very good. But a big part of Vancouver's winning right now is definitely Patrick Demko. One of the best goalies in the league right now. So I think if they can make it to playoffs, they're going pretty deep.
I think you're getting fooled by the recency, their recent record, and I think
Maybe. It's probably
that,
bold take.
I think just their whole team is playing the best they can right now, and they are bound to slightly drop off. And I think they won't go as deep as you think.
Well, I guess we'll
Alright,
see.
Any other thoughts on that, boys? Or?
I don't know. I agree. I think obviously it's easy to say that when they're winning right now. I got to see a bit more of the season before I would agree with that take.
I think they're going to make the playoffs.
Well, it's hard. They'd have to collapse pretty hard, to be honest with you.
And then my second bold take is Cam Talbot wins the best now. You know, it's a bold take for a reason, but Cam Talbot, say what you want, Cam Talbot, 7 wins, 2 losses with a 2.03 goals against so far. I mean, 7th best. Not very good. 7th
best.
There's 3 goalies above that I think shouldn't be there anyway. You got.
I think he shouldn't be there. He shouldn't be there.
Murph,
you're looking at a group of goalies here now. You're just talking Swayman, Demko, Hill. You're talking like great goalies. Ottinger's there. His name sticks out like a sore thumb.
All right, and Murph, think about it like this.
Very good to start the year, and it's a bold take for a reason. So I'm just throwing it out there.
Listen to me.
That's too bold.
So in goals against, save percentage, and shutouts, Talbot's not even in the top 5, and he's playing at like his maximum he can play right now.
Okay, wow.
So I don't think he's getting better. So he has to get better.
Okay, so what is the reasoning that he like? You gotta have something behind this.
I mean, he's playing good. I mean,
just lots of goalies playing good.
Yeah, but Cam Talbot. I mean, if you look at the Kings,
so he's playing so good, but there's still goalies above him.
I think at the end of the season, Cam Talbot will be a top 5 goalie. And in contention for the best, I guess.
Alright.
Okay.
Well, anyway,
so I guess we'll see.
Alright, Drew.
Okay, number 1, I think that although they have a pretty good start to the season, I think the Panthers miss out on the playoffs. They are second in the Atlantic right now at an 8-4-1 record, and I think that the Detroit Red Wings will be above them by the end of the year. I think the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Toronto Maple Leafs, if not the Sabres, be over them by the end of the year. I'm not a believer in the Panthers. Their top players are not playing at their full potential right now, and it's starting to scare me. 15 games into the season, and Matthew Tkachuk is not playing great.
Okay,
I don't think the Sabres will be above them, but I do think they'll be in the number 5 slot in the Atlantic.
Yeah.
Okay, but the only thing I would say is if their top players aren't performing at their max potential and they're already doing good, so what's to say they're going to fall if their players start
getting
going?
carried by people such as Sam Reinhart, and they're clearly not going to keep up this production. And I think that within 15 games, your superstar players got to start showing some kind of bounce back in saying, okay, I had a couple rough games, but I'm still one of the best
players. And you got to remember, Brandon Montour's still out.
That's a Tkachuk did actually have a goal and assist last night, so maybe they're going to get going there now.
I'm getting a bit worried for Tkachuk. Honestly, he's not, and I think he's still got affected. People forget that taking long runs in playoffs hurt your team the next season.
Oh yeah,
they had huge injury, and he had a broken. What was it again? Broken
sternum or something.
Sternum. That's what it was.
He had to get dressed by his teammates.
Exactly.
I had to help
long, and it's not a coincidence that you see 1 or 2 teams every year have what they call a Stanley Cup hangover. It's where they go deep in the Stanley Cup playoff run, and then they do not start the season very good. And this is exactly what is going to happen to the Florida Panthers. There are players that are running hot right now, like Reinhart and players like that, will slow down over time. And I do not think that Tkachuk will have the same season as he did last year. And I don't think Bobrovsky is going to be as good as what he was in playoffs. And I think a lot of the Panthers team...
Bobrovsky has started pretty good.
But I think a lot of the Panthers team is very overrated from last year. I think people talk of them way too highly just because they went to the Cup playoffs last year.
Yeah, sure.
In my opinion.
We're also missing Brandon Montour right now too.
I think Montour's overrated.
All right,
he is a good defenseman, but I think he's overrated. Number 2, I think the Tampa Bay Lightning are your President Trophy winners this year. They are 6-4-4 right now, which is not a great record. Without Vasilevsky, Stamkos has been battling injuries, and you look at some of their top performers so far. Point and Kucherov has been playing lights out. You wait till Vasilevsky comes back and their whole team is revamped.
Yeah.
They're a force to be reckoned with this year. I got the Tampa Bay Lightning for the President's Trophy.
All right. Well, yeah, there's not much to say about that. I mean, it could easily happen. They're a proven team.
For the people that don't know what the President's Trophy is, it's basically the team that has the most points through the regular season.
Yeah.
It's not the Stanley Cup. It's just whoever gains the most points through the regular season.
All right. Well, so my first hot take is if the Canucks keep playing at a certain level they're playing, I got Thatcher Demko winning the Vezina Trophy. Not really as hot of a take now that they started off hot, but it definitely would be at the start of the year. I think
it's too early to face off stats.
I mean, and it's not like the team is just playing good and he's getting carried by the team's record. He has a 948 save percentage right now. So obviously that's not going to keep up. But the only guy really ahead of him right now is Jeremy Swayman in statistics. And maybe Varlamov, and I don't think Swayman plays enough games right now to really get a
Swayman and
Vezina.
Varlamov are basically splitting games with Sorokin and Homer.
And Demko's taking the workload. Like, he is the guy in net for Vancouver. So
I just think that so many people are caught up in the recency, like the recent stats, and not the over the season projected stats. This is an 82 game season, not a month season.
Yeah.
I think I don't like that hot take.
I think if the Canucks can keep up a decent level of play and Demko's stats don't dip too far.
Got to remember that people were talking about Demko on his way out last year.
Yeah.
The Canucks were getting lit up last year.
Right.
But you got to remember, before last season, Demko was one of the best goalies in the NHL. He just had a really bad year last year.
Bad year.
So he has been a proven elite starter in the NHL.
I'm right now basing it off the sample size of I got the last 82 game season, not the 15 games this season. That's what I'm basing it off, and I don't think they made very many moves in the offseason to push them that much better. I think it's a lot of the same team. So that's why I'm taking the sample size of 82 games instead of the 15 so far this season.
Yeah, well, we'll
that's
see.
Why I disagree.
We'll see. And then my second take I have is actually going against Drew's President Trophy take. I have Vegas winning 60-plus games this season, almost going for the record. I think so. They're off to the start to do it. I think that they're proving that they're the best team in the league from last year and so far into this year. And as of right now, I think they're on pace for their 60-win season, and I think they can do it.
I agree.
That's not much more to say about it.
All right. So, my first one, I got right now, I have Semyon Varlamov and Ilya Sorokin being even goalies throughout the season for the Islanders.
Interesting.
Because Varlamov has taken just as many games as Sorokin. He has a higher save percentage, better goals against. He's got 2 shutouts, whereas Sorokin has been at his worst.
The only thing I'd say is the problem with this take is that once Varlamov has a couple bad games, then they're going to go right back to Sorokin, and they're not going to give him another chance.
No, but Sorokin has been having bad games.
Yeah, but he's just proven, right?
It's just really hard because getting back to it, it's a 15-game sample size. It's really hard to judge it off this, and I don't know. It'll be interesting for sure.
Yeah.
Anyway, second, I had the Rangers at 5 in my cup pick, I have the Rangers winning the President's Trophy over the Knights and the Bruins and the Stars and teams like that.
Possible. They're off to like a similar start, really. So
If I were to pick someone besides the Lightning to win the President's Trophy this year, I would pick the Rangers.
Yeah, I think, like you said, also Fox is gone. I forgot about that. So Fox is gone. Shesterkin's gone. So that's 2 big pieces when they come back. I just think they're going to be a really strong team throughout the whole year.
yeah, I like
And
that
just
take.
their power play is running, I said this already, almost at 40%.
Yeah.
So, like, it's almost like if you take 3 penalties against this team, they're getting a goal on one of them, at least.
Yeah.
Wait till Fox comes back. It's only going to get better.
Well, and just before Fox left, he was playing really well. I think he was like 2nd in the league for defensive points.
Exactly. And just like to have the backup goalie that they have in Jonathan Quick right now, like I said already, it's such a short sample size. The way he's playing right now is just like it's like a 1A 1B.
The only thing about Quick is that I did not expect him to come in and be the goalie that he is.
He's old.
Yeah, that's the thing.
He's
I
like
thought
36
he was
years
just
old.
gonna be
And
a
the
guy
last
who they if they had back-to-back
And
games
the thing
against bad teams.
is he can mentor Connor Shesterkin because he was a franchise goalie
he
for the
knows
Kings.
what to do in the playoffs.
Lots of
He
playoff
has so much experience, not in the playoffs,
Just all together.
overall.
Yeah.
He's been playing for almost 20 years now. He was the franchise goalie for the
He's
Kings.
one of the best goalies when the Kings.
It was him and like Lundqvist in that.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I think quite obviously they're going to need Shesterkin back because this flame is going to run out on quick eventually. He's the last few years he's been like the most mediocre or below average goalie you can get in LA.
Just because of age, so he's just
Obviously, that's just what happens. But I'm just saying he's not going to keep this level of
But
play
the
up.
thing is, in LA, he was kind of relied on.
That's true.
Whereas in
In
New
New York,
York,
he got
he's
Shesterkin.
going to be their second goal.
And yeah, I guess to be
Really
fair,
bad
when he
team,
was in
though.
LA, he probably wasn't getting. At the time he was in LA, they were just on the come up, so they weren't really, I guess, playing as well in front of him as he's getting in front of New York right now.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, well, I think that's all we have for the NHL, so we'll get into the very exciting NFL and our matchups of the week. So the first one we have is the Cleveland Browns going into Baltimore to play the Ravens. So what is your thoughts on this one? Where do you want to start with?
I think I got the Ravens.
Okay.
I agree.
Whoa.
I don't know. I mean, you got Lamar. No, his passing hasn't been, but he runs the ball.
Who is bringing this narrative that Lamar is a bad passer?
I'm not saying that. I'm saying he
It's not
doesn't
that he's
have
a
a lot
bad
of passing
passer,
yards, but that's because he's
Plus,
running
he's
the ball
like
well.
he's top 12 in
Yeah.
like passing yards this season.
Yeah.
This there's quarterbacks like Trevor Lawrence that analysts goes crazy over one of the best passers in the league, which Lamar is beating him in every single statistic throwing wise yet this year. Lamar has 3 picks this year.
And he's first in rushing.
Yes. Like
He's first
the
in rushing all
only
the
reason
time.
why people say he sucks at passing because they don't pass.
Yeah.
They're such a good rushing team that they can just run and win games by running. And when the times that he needs to throw the ball, there's no problems.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now I know that Mike is going to take the Browns right now, so we don't even have to,
No, hold on.
because we have a huge rivalry between the Ravens and Dolphins here.
No.
And I predicted that the Dolphins were going to lose last game, and they were actually down by 21 now. They did come back.
It was a
They
close
can claim
game.
that, but my prediction was looking very good for a little while.
Yeah.
But it's still right.
Actually, I did predict the Chiefs to
Yeah.
win, and I predicted a one-score game. as well.
Anyways, just say the Browns now because we got a little rivalry.
So we got the Ravens are at home. I actually do got the Ravens in this game.
Whoa.
The Ravens, they've been hot the last few games. I do like the Ravens in this game. I think Lamar will run the ball a lot, and they will run the ball a lot and not pass and win, and it'll be a good game. All right.
You always got to throw a bit of shade in every time.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a very close toss-up game to me. The Browns probably got one of the best defense in the NFL, but so do the Ravens.
Yeah.
They're pretty evenly matched on defense.
But then
Actually,
the
they
Ravens just
Baltimore
got the
better
upper hand on
offense.
the offense.
Yeah.
They just, quarterbacks like Lamar Jackson really aren't situational quarterbacks like Tua.
Yeah.
And they really they can win in any calm circumstance.
I don't really
Don't
like.
matter. He don't need Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. He just needs someone to throw the ball to.
Yeah.
Give me the Ravens.
I don't really think the Browns are that good, to be honest with you. I think they're a bit
Only
overrated.
5-3.
Yeah.
Well, for everything everyone just said about the Ravens, I'm taking the Ravens. Yeah, that's all my reasons have been said.
I think the Browns are underrated. Unlike
I don't
we say,
know.
they got the best defense in the league.
Yeah.
They got Amari Cooper on offense. People forget he's a top wide receiver. They have a great tight end in David Njoku. I think they're a good team, and I like Jerome Ford, their running back. I don't know if I like Deshaun Watson, but he's just been mid so far this season. So we'll have to see when he comes up against this big defense of the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, well, at one time he was considered to be like basically a superstar, so I don't think he's at that level. But anyway, no. Next one.
All right, second one we got is the San Francisco 49ers going down to the Jacksonville Jaguars in Florida.
Now, what's the injuries with San Francisco right now? That's important.
I do.
Williams questionable.
I do think that they're operating almost a full team.
Yeah,
Okay.
those
Debo
teams-
looks like he's back. Christian McCaffrey was playing. He was a bit banged up, but he did play last week. Brock Purdy was playing.
So it's a full.
I think it's pretty much they're back to being healthy.
Okay. All right, now.
I think I want the 49ers in this one.
Any reasoning?
The worst record, but I do think, like, I like Brock Purdy so far. Defense has been stronger than the Jags, and offense has been kind of close.
Yeah, okay. I got the 49ers. I think they've been pretty banged up the last few weeks, and I think when they're full strength, they're definitely one of the best teams in the NFL. Jaguars are riding high right now, but I do think the 49ers are the better football team.
Yeah, I'm going to keep that trend going, and I'm also going to take San Francisco in Florida. I think San Francisco, I don't see them losing 4 games in a row. This team started 5-0 and now is on a 3-game skid.
Yeah.
I don't see it continuing to 4. Their defense swallows up Trevor Lawrence that's having a down year this year. Give me the 49ers.
Oh, yeah, like everyone just said, I got the 49ers.
So just feed off of us every single time, will you?
Wasn't done that.
And what the boss says, yeah.
I wasn't done that.
All right, come on, go.
Yeah, just because, like what everyone else said, like the boss said.
You're not even going to give any reasons.
Move on. I didn't listen to Mike anymore. Anyways.
Oh!
Like I said, I was trying to say before you really cut me off. I got the 49ers win this game, like you guys said, full roster basically for the 49ers. I think this should be an easy game. I don't think San Francisco's losing another game here.
So you just took part of mine and then part of
there's only so much to say.
Put together,
right?
Okay.
All right, last one.
Last one, we're going to start with Murph.
Yeah,
Lions,
Murph, we're going to give you the original ideas here, Murph.
Lions, Chargers.
Yeah, I think I got the Lions win this game. I think Jared Goff has been very, very solid this year. I think the Lions coach also.
Who's the Lions coach?
I don't know his name. I just know who he is. I don't know his name.
To be fair,
Dan
their coach is all over like TikTok and stuff.
Campbell.
I just be seeing his face.
His name. Players like playing for him.
So like good coach, but don't know his name.
Good coach.
He's a great
good
coach.
QB, pretty good defense.
So you're just saying.
Offense has been floating. Amon St. Brown playing very good this year.
So you're just saying that they're playing good, so
they're just better than the Chargers, to be honest with you.
In what way?
In offensively.
I think the Chargers are probably better offensively.
I think the Lions' defense is way better than the Chargers.
I think the difference is the Lions' defense as well.
I think
so.
I think the Chargers' offense is better than the Lions' offense. I think but they're pretty close. I think the big difference is the defense.
Yeah.
Well,
and you never stated that.
The Lions' defense ranked 4th. The Chargers 24th.
Yeah, so that's not even close.
And so my prediction, I'm going to take Murph's as well. I'm going to go with the Lions, but for all the different reasons.
Okay. Interesting. Anyways, continue.
Yes, they have a good coach, but the difference is the Chargers have a terrible coach. That's the difference. The Chargers have Brandon Stanley as their head coach. He's not a great coach. Number 2, the defense. The Lions' defense are 10 times better than the Chargers' defense. The Chargers and the Lions are both great offensive teams. Both can score lots of points on you any given night. But the difference in these teams is the defense of the Lions. That's why I have the Lions winning at SoFi Stadium in LA.
Yeah, I'll change it up a little bit here. I actually do like the Chargers in terms of they're at home this week. They're the type of team that could easily go crazy offensively with the weapons they have offensively because, like we said, it's not that much difference between the teams offensively and strength. I'm kind of just going off of the feeling basically that I think the Chargers they're 4-4. They really need a win. Like, it's a very important game for them to stay above 500. I think if they want a good shot at a decent position or even getting in the playoffs, this is a big game. A bigger game than it is for the Lions.
I think that this game can go either way, but people forget the injury of Mike Williams is out for this whole year.
That's true. That's a big receiver loss.
That's a big receiver loss for the Chargers. It was an ACL injury.
Yeah, I'm not 100% confident in the Chargers, but I do think that it could easily be a Chargers win as much as a Lions win.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the Lions. I think the big difference is going to be the defense. And like you said, both offenses are good, but the Lions have been better this year.
Now, the only, in defense of Mike's pick, the Lions have played two real good teams this year in Seattle and the Ravens. And both of them, they got beaten. So I'm curious to see another good team. Can they finally beat a pretty good team? That's what I'm trying to say. Let's see if they are not like the Dolphins.
Yeah.
And see if they can beat a good team.
Yeah, that's true. We'll see.
All right. And then we'll get into one more thing for the NFL in Super Bowl winning predictions. Who do you guys think will win the Super Bowl? And we're gonna. Where do we want to start here?
Let's say we just fluctuate.
Start with Murph.
Okay. So
I like hearing your original ideas.
Thanks. Start with the Chiefs. I mean, Chiefs have been the best team. For
So
a few
you're
years.
picking the Chiefs as the Super Bowl winners?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the Chiefs have been the best team for a few years now. I mean, obviously won the Super Bowl last year. Very solid record to start, 7-2, and I think that our Super Bowl team last year that won, very same team this year. I mean, not a lot of changes been made. And I think a big part of the Chiefs is obviously Patrick Mahomes, best quarterback in the league, and has been for multiple years. So I think that's my one to win the Super Bowl. Now my two is actually the team that played against it last year.
Wait, we have two picks for us?
I got one.
Yeah, I only got one.
Okay,
Go
you
on,
answer.
go on.
You can just go on, you might as well.
Yeah, I thought we had two. Okay.
Actually, I've got my Super Bowl, so technically my second pick
that's
would be
what
the
I
other
got.
team.
Yeah, and okay, and then I got the team that played them last year and lost, like 3 points. The Eagles. Obviously the Eagles, probably the best team in the league so far this year. I mean, great offense, probably the best offense in the league. AJ Brown leading that offense over 1,000 yards already this year. Jalen Hurts, obviously one very solid quarterback. And the Eagles got pretty good defense, so I think that we're gonna have
They
a
have
rematch.
great defense.
And I think we're gonna have a rematch of the
I
Super Bowl last year.
like that pick.
And I think the Chiefs are winning again.
Okay, so I'll give my I didn't come into it thinking that I was going to give it the two teams in the Super Bowl, but I'll take the. Now this kind of is weird because I've seen this all over TikTok. So there has been a trend in the colors of the Super Bowl logo from year to year. So it was orange and yellow the first year, and the Bengals and the Rams played two colors. Then we had green and red last year for the Eagles and Chiefs. So everyone thinks this year it's purple and red. So you can probably get what I'm getting to. I got the Ravens and 49ers, but not because of the logo. Because I think that it'll come down to the 49ers and Eagles for the NFC Championship. And I think that the 49ers will get their get back on them. Because they only lost last year because Brock Purdy went out early.
Yeah,
with
they
the
had Christian
elbow.
McCaffrey or George Kittle playing quarterback.
Yeah, so I'm going to take, for the NFC side, I'm going to take the 49ers. I think they do it this year and get the Super Bowl. And obviously for my AFC, I'm going to take the Ravens, my team. So might have a bit of argument for this, but the Ravens right now are 7-2. The two games they lost were very winnable games. They lost to the Indianapolis Colts on a rainy day, that they had 3 fumbles. On a nice day, they're winning that. Not only that, Justin Tucker had a field goal opportunity with 0 seconds left on the clock and missed it to go to overtime.
Very rare.
Then, if you guys remember it, I remember you talking to me about it before.
Yeah.
There was a 3rd and 4, I think. If the Ravens had a first down, they had field goal opportunity. And remember, the throw was to Zay Flowers, and he got tackled before the ball came up.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember.
That was a terrible call and probably cost the Ravens the game there. All they needed was a field goal. They've just been taking care of business against all the great teams that they've played. They have ruined the Lions 38-6, and last week they ruined the Seahawks 37-3, which is actually the biggest deficit that Pete Carroll has lost in his career with the Seahawks. And they lost to the Steelers, which the Steelers are a great team, lost by 7 points, which a late touchdown. The Steelers probably deserved to win that game with the offense only putting up 10 yards. But yeah, that's what I got, and I think the winner will be the Ravens here.
Interesting. I've got a Super Bowl matchup, first of all, of the Chiefs and the 49ers this year. it was actually a couple of years ago, 3 or 4 years ago now. That was the same matchup.
And the 49ers were actually winning that by 10.
Yeah. I agree with you in terms
Chiefs
of
came back.
I agree with you in terms of Eagles and 49ers over in the NFC. And I do think the 49ers win this matchup and get the revenge. But in saying that, when we get to the Super Bowl, I had the Chiefs winning again this year. I don't know. It's something about the Chiefs. They get the job done. I think there's a lot of good teams in the AFC, but I feel like any team you put up against the Chiefs got to be the favorite to win in the playoffs with experience in terms of their skill now in general. I'm going to go with the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl over the 49ers in another close game.
All right, my pick was going to be the Eagles. Jalen Hurts has been solid. A.J. Brown's been solid. Defense has been great. 8-1 right now, so I mean, obviously off to a good start.
Do you got who they're playing, or you just got the Eagles?
I'm gonna take the reverse you and say Eagles Chiefs, but I got the Eagles.
I was gonna say that
I
again.
think they can go either way, really.
Eagles and
Also,
I still
next
think the Chiefs.
week 11, Eagles and Chiefs actually play.
yeah.
That'll be a good game.
It's easy. It's just I think everyone agrees that the Eagles and the 49ers are the best teams in the NFC, so that's probably what the matchup's going to be. Winner's going to go to the Super Bowl.
I think for sure the AFC division is the stronger division.
Yeah.
And I think there's only I think you can count 4 pretty good teams in the NFC.
Like, I could see, like, the Lions challenging.
The Lions are challenging. I think the Seahawks are a great team.
Cowboys can be good.
And the Cowboys. So there's 5 teams there.
Yeah.
There is 5 teams. But I think the AFC probably got 8 or 9. There's probably 2 teams that are very good teams that are going to miss playoffs.
I mean, the Bills are, like, they're underperforming, but they can easily play at an elite level.
Yes, and, like, how about, like, the Chargers?
The Jets are holding their own without Rodgers right now. It's just a matter if they can stay in the race until he gets back, I guess.
You got teams like, so you got, like...
Is he gonna be back this year?
Apparently week
The
15,
AFC got teams
he's
like...
projected to come back week 15, week
Just let me
Dolphins.
give you like 9 or 10 teams. You got the Dolphins, Bills, Jets, Ravens, Steelers, Browns, Bengals, Jacksonville, Kansas City. You got the Chargers. So you got like 3 of them teams are just named. All great teams missing the playoffs.
Yeah.
So it is going to be an interesting playoff race in the AFC.
Well, I mean, like, the Bengals and Browns are both... Bengals, Browns, and Steelers are all 5-3 right now. So even though the Bengals are in last, technically, like, they're just right there.
That's a
NFC
very
North.
strong division.
Yeah.
right
NFC
there.
North is the only division that doesn't have a team under 500.
Yeah.
And they are well over 500. The lowest team is actually 5-3. So it's a very tough division, and probably 1 or 2 of them are going to miss out on the playoffs this year.
Yeah.
Which is disappointing.
That's true.
Well, the Bengals start is kind of what messed them up. They gotta.
I'm not that worried.
I'm
I
worried
think
on
they
it
can
now.
easily hop over the
Yeah.
Steelers and the Browns.
And Ravens play the Bengals next Thursday, prime time, Thursday night football in Baltimore. So should be a good game as well.
Yeah. All right. That's all we got for this episode. Thanks for tuning in to episode 6 of the Spittin Sports Podcast.